It's maybe a bit early actually. It's maybe not even past yet. For everybody that's gonna come here, I'm live. I'm live. See if hello Ralph. I think I'm early for a change. So I'm just waiting for a few minutes. Hey Ali. I'm a bit early, so I am just getting to grips with getting set up really. I wasn't really organised this morning. So a quick run around and here we are. Good morning, Big Al. Hi Jackie, you made it on time today. You're not having to catch up. So that's good. Well done for making it to the live, for those that are watching. I've got a bit of space here today. I've obviously not set up my camera angle properly this morning. It's all been a bit of a rush, but that's okay. You'll forgive me, I am sure. Welcome, welcome. Hi Charlie. Shout out to you too. Thanks for joining. Do a little bit of mindfulness with the whole family. How nice is that? And I was just going to blame my 2-year-old for losing my singing bowl ring-a-ding-ding here. I hope we're all well on this now sunny Tuesday. What's happening? I thought it was going to be raining all week and it's not. It's now sunny. So that's a nice surprise. So we'll maybe get out into the fresh air after this and experience the lovely weather. So good morning, good morning. Spend a few minutes just getting settled in. So if you're new to the practice or you haven't joined us on the live before, finding a space that's nice and comfy, doesn't have to be free from all the other things that are going on in your world, just finding a space that you can sit comfortably on a cushion or a chair, even on your couch or in your bed, wherever you need to be today, that's totally fine. But maybe spending a few minutes getting nice and comfy. So you don't have to sit in any particular way. I'm sitting with my legs crossed on a cushion, but that doesn't mean I'm any better at meditating than you. It just means that I've found a comfortable position. So you find a nice comfy space wherever you are, and just noticing the temperature in the room, because that can become a distraction too. And when we sit to meditate, we might notice how cold we get. Hey Lauren, great that you can join us. So get nice and cozy. I've got many layers on today just to be nice and cozy. So finding a nice space, getting nice and comfy. And we're going to begin the practice in just a second. We always wait just a few minutes at the start of this session to allow everybody to join that's going to join us. My husband's popped on, which is interesting. He's in the other room, meant to be working probably. But anyway, hi Andrew. So get nice and comfy wherever you are. Find that suitable position. And if you want a cup of tea, you've probably got time to grab one. We're just waiting on a few more people. Yeah. And today we're going to talk about distraction and how we can work with the distractions of our life at the moment. How these might be different distractions in our world, and how we can notice whether through mindfulness meditation practice we can work out a better way to deal with those distractions and not get too caught up in them. So let's not get overwhelmed with those distractions that might be in our world just now. And even today when you're sitting for this practice, already, I can't see your world unfortunately, but already you might have children around, you might have family around, you might have nobody around, and that is a distraction. You might have devices, you might have other phones or emails sitting. So I challenge you just to begin with, if you can clear the way, turn off notifications, allow some space for peace and quiet. If the kids are around, let's work with that as a distraction today. That's totally fine. And I'll talk you through how we're going to do that. So as we begin each session, finding that comfortable position, we're going to do a check-in with ourselves to honestly find out how we're doing today. And you can share this with me later or on this session by typing in the bottom if you want. But we're going to do a thing called a check-in. So finding a comfortable position, bringing your eyes to closed if that feels good for you. And if not, just allowing your gaze to be soft, maybe about a foot in front of you, or even looking through your eyelashes if that's available. And we're going to begin here by taking a nice long deep breath in, breathing all the way into the bottom of your lungs and breathing all the way out, nice and long and slow. And we start to arrive in the space we've chosen, wherever we've decided to sit today, just to arrive here, to land, to let go of earlier on today and to let go of the things we've got to do today. Let's give ourselves permission just to come to peace for this session. So we're going to drop in that question that we do at the beginning of the session. How do I feel as we arrive in this space? So we're just going to find a word or a phrase that resonates with just how we feel right now, right in this moment in time. So we're not asking what we felt like last week or even before, but what we feel like right now sitting in this space, in this practice. And you might be able to find that word or phrase that resonates with you. And then maybe even being curious about that phrase and just asking yourself, is that what I really mean? Is that how I feel? Then we're going to take a nice long in-breath and out-breath. And we're going to shift ever so slightly our awareness into our physical body. And we're going to check in with that too. So how does our body feel today? There might be pain here or discomfort. There might be tension or tingling, or our body might feel pretty great actually. So just noticing how it feels, just to sit here for a few moments in peace and quiet and stillness, checking in with the body. And if we have found some discomfort here, maybe making a note to attend to it later. Then we're going to take a nice long deep breath in. Breathing all the way in and all the way out, nice and long and slow. And then just letting our eyes gently open back to the light and back to the session. So there's a few more people that have joined us. Hi Mum and Auntie Chris too, welcome on the call. Nice to see you faces popping up. So we're going to deal a lot with distraction today, and like I said at the beginning of the practice, there might be a lot of distractions going on just now, and we might just have a wee moment to check in with what kind of person we are. And if you've ever seen that film Up, where the dog just sees a squirrel and goes, "Squirrel!" and he's completely distracted, that might resonate with some of us, and we might feel like that some of the time. And the other thing we might find is, because we've got social media, which is allowing us to do this live session just now, and emails and all of that, we find that our brain begins to be wired to distraction. So we look for a distraction. So even when we're sitting here on this call, we might notice things around us that are pulling our distraction away from what we're doing. And what that might mean is that as we wired our brain up for distraction, it means we're constantly looking for something to keep us entertained. Somebody, getting likes or feedback on social media. And that can become really all-consuming and overwhelming. And it also means that when we're having any kind of relationship or discussion, we might find that we are distracted by our devices or by other things, or want to be out of that discussion, and we're not connecting anymore with the person we're having that conversation with. And you might have been on the other end of that at some point and noticed when you're talking to somebody and they're not listening to what you've said. And it can be really disheartening and really pretty crap. But at the moment, the overwhelming distraction might be all the other stuff we've got to deal with just now. So it might be a distraction of worries and thoughts about the crisis. It might be distraction and worries about home life and juggling both work and being a parent, which I'm finding particularly difficult at the moment. So just noticing how that distraction plays out. And what you might find is, as our brain is distracted, we might notice that we let go of being efficient. So we let go of being able to stick with one task because we're pulled in all these different directions. So we want to be able to settle our mind in a way that we can acknowledge there's distraction there, but that we're able to find some kind of focus so that we are more efficient and we find we're not beating ourselves up about all the other stuff that's going on. So if you can imagine, certainly at the moment, you'll all know one of them, a parent that's stretched between working, home life, running the house, whatever that might be, looking after elderly parents. They're stretched in all these different directions, and they might find that they're not doing one thing particularly well. And then what happens is we start to beat ourselves up about that and say how awful we are and we can't do this and we're a terrible parent, we're a terrible daughter, whatever it might be. So what we want to do is practice working with those distractions in a way that we can say, okay, all of this is happening. Can I bring my focus of awareness to one thing, and then can I deal with it in a better way? So it might be that we allow our time to be with our children, and then we allow another moment of time to be with our work, and another moment of time to care or to do the necessary things. So noticing our distractions, but also being really kind to ourselves and allowing ourselves time to work on different things. And we're going to do that through a meditation practice today. And what you might find is you might be distracted by noise that's there. You might be distracted by the discomfort in your body. You might be distracted by thoughts that are going on, both thoughts of the practice and thoughts of what you've done today or thoughts of what you're going to do later. And we're going to work with that. And you might just allow things to arise, and we might just say, we might put a big label on it and call it distraction, and like that to fade away. And I wonder if we can, when a distraction does arise in your practice, I wonder if we can sit back a little and watch that distraction almost float away like we're an observer, like we're watching a passing car, or we're watching maybe a log in a stream float away. So allowing us to sit back as the observer, notice what's happening, what the distraction is, label it up, and then just let it float on. And that's going to be our practice today, noticing that when we've got lost, coming back, noticing when we've got lost and coming back. And we call this practice labeling, and it's a really simple one to do. So it might sound difficult at the moment, but we're going to give it a practice and going to give it a go. So hopefully that sounds okay. And yeah, quite warm now, so I'm going to take my jumper off. And the sun is shining. So that's a distraction for me. The sun is streaming in through my window, which is lovely. But I would rather be here with you, working on your practice. So we're going to begin in the usual way. We start the practice with the sound of the singing bowl, and we end the practice with the sound of the singing bowl. If I can find my singing bowl. So in this, again, you want to, if you've joined us a little bit later, you're just finding that comfortable position once more, sitting with respect for the practice. So we're not just falling asleep and all hunched forward. We want to be able to sit in a space where we are getting the nice breath into our lungs. So we're going to take some nice deep breaths and feeling comfortable but sitting upright. I would invite you to bring your eyes to closed, but if that's not any use to you, because sometimes when we close our eyes, our voices get louder inside our head, so our thoughts might be there. But you can keep through your eyelashes, or you can find a space about a foot in front of you and allow your eyes to go hazy. So shall we give it a go? Let's do it. So finding that comfortable position. Bringing your eyes to closed, and beginning by taking that nice long deep breath in and that nice long deep breath out, nice and long and slow. So as we begin this practice, I want you to notice your motivation for joining us today on Facebook. Whatever it might be, just dropping that into our mind. Why have we clicked on here today? And the intention for this practice is noticing distraction and working with it in our mindfulness practice. So we begin in the usual way by lengthening our breath in the body. And we do so by breathing in for a count of 4 and breathing out for a count of 4. So working with your own breath in your own time, we might go breathing in 2, 3, 4 and breathing out 2, 3, 4. So we lengthen and equalise the breath into the bottom of our lungs, and we can start to notice our breath slow down. Or you can use the phrase, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And then we let go of counting, we let go of the phrasing, and we return our breath to a natural rhythm, one that's comfortable for you and your body. And then we bring our awareness into our body on the cushion or the chair or the bed, wherever we are. And we check in with the points of contact where we sit, noticing where we meet the ground or meet the cushion. If our legs are crossed, we might notice one leg upon the other. We might be able to feel the clothes on our skin and the sensation that it makes. We might even be able to feel the warmth of the air in the room or the coolness. But in this space, we begin to feel the weight of our body wherever we're seated, letting go of tension, noticing if we can soften the tummy, letting go of holding on to the tummy today, allowing that breath to be fully felt in the body. Our shoulders drop away from our ears, our arms and hands are heavy in our lap or by our side. And we might find some space here in the spine as we lengthen up towards the ceiling, the top of our head lifting, lengthening through the spine. With respect for the practice, we might even lift our chest slightly. So we find a posture that's comfortable and supports our breathing practice as we breathe deeply here. And we might even find our body and our breath begin to come to rest, resting with the unconditional support of the ground, so our body can begin to soften from tension and discomfort, and our mind too can begin to soften and release from thought as it rests gently in the body. And then we look towards our anchor of support. So we look here for the breath. And we notice if it's in our tummy, in our rib cage, in our chest, the rise and fall at our shoulders, or even the in and out breath at our nose. Just noticing our breath. And noticing here if we can feel the in and the out breath, the felt sense presence of our breath here. Can we notice the journey of our breath as it comes into our nose? Can we follow the journey of our breath? And as we do so, we might be able to notice sensory feelings in the body. We might be able to notice smells or tastes. We might be able to notice the feeling as the breath moves our body. We might be able to hear our breath today. So noticing this sensory experience of breathing in and breathing out. And we can also notice any images that arise internally in our mind. And it might be an image of our breath as we breathe in and breathe out. It might take some form and some colour or shape. And perhaps that allows you to follow the journey from the in-breath to the out-breath. And as we sit here just with the breath breathing in and out, emotion might already be there. So making a note, not looking into the story here, but just making a note of any emotion that arises. And the thoughts too will already have come and gone into our minds. Thoughts are fleeting and they shouldn't stay around too long. So just notice as they arrive and notice as they go. And And any number of these things might become a distraction to us here. So the sensory elements as well as the internal images, emotions and thoughts, they might arise as a distraction to our practice. So noticing whatever does arise, whether we can observe it as a passing car, or we can perhaps find some space to sit on a riverbank and notice those distractions and thoughts as things floating in the river. Whatever image comes to mind that's helpful for you for this distraction practice. Noticing that you can observe without getting lost in the story or get caught up in the meaning. Just noticing. We can observe here as a calm bystander. We can find some space in this stillness. And if we do get lost in thought or emotion or story, maybe we can gently remind our minds that we're meditating and we bring ourselves back to the breath again. So just coming back to where you feel that breath in the body, wherever it may be. And I'm going to allow you some space here, some space without my voice, so that you can notice what thoughts, emotions, distractions that might be there. And gently practicing with the return of your mind coming back to the breath, coming back to that anchor of support. So spend a few moments here in this space. And as I drop back into the meditation, just noticing where we were there. Noticing if we were lost in our thoughts, or whether we were allowing our mind to settle with the anchor of support, which is the breath. So just noticing where we were. No judgment or preference, just noticing. And as we move towards the close of this practice now, acknowledging our distractions that were there, being kind to ourselves and gentle, we allow some positivity back into our world. And we might find something that we are grateful for today, and we drop that into our practice. So we might use the words, I am grateful for, and finish that sentence in our mind. And then as we come to the close of this practice, we're going to take 3 long in-breaths and 3 long out-breaths, breathing all the way in and all the way out, nice and long and slow, knowing that the inhale will always follow the exhale. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I relax. Very gently and slowly, just allowing your eyes to open back to the light, stretching through any tension that might be here, allowing a wee wriggle through any creaks and cracks and pops before coming back to the session. So well done those who managed to get through that practice. It wasn't an easy one. It's challenging to notice your distraction and being kind with yourself about that. But perhaps allowing yourself to take that with you today, that intention, to notice distraction, to notice when you aren't pulled in different directions, and to notice when you can apply that same logic to say, take a step back, maybe not get too involved with it, and practice focusing in a different way. I want to leave you with a loving kindness affirmation practice today. We've got time, so that's good. And it's something that you can use at any time. And there's loads of research and studies behind loving kindness practice. The more you do it, the more it becomes second nature. But there's actually studies to show that there's an opening of your arteries, so it cleanses the arteries as well. So loving kindness is great for up here, but it's also great for your physical benefits as well. And you can do this really easily. And we're going to repeat the same 4 things 3 times. And all it is may you be well, and I'll guide you through it. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you live with ease. But I want you to say it to yourself. So it'll be, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I live with ease. So we're going to do that now. And you can say it out loud to yourself, say it internally to yourself with me. I'll allow you some time to do that. So I'm going to bring my eyes to a soft gaze, and we're going to begin by taking a nice deep breath in. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. If your eyes are closed, letting those words land. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be well. May you live with ease. Allow those words to be felt here, wherever they are in the body. We might find a warmth in our body somewhere as we hear those words or we deliver those words to ourselves. And they also might be hard to hear, so practice saying them. And we end today by just taking a nice long deep breath in, all the way out. Bring our eyes gently back to the space if they're closed, back to the light and back to the room. Well done, everybody. If you have any questions at all about the practice or want to join us on the Zoom calls, which are at 7 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday nights, there are some spaces but not a lot left for the rest of the week. It'd be lovely to see you. Zoom workshops work in a different way, so they allow a bit more interaction. We can ask questions, we can figure out what's going on in your practice. And if you're new to this and you have any questions about today's practice, drop me a wee comment and I'll come back to you. But there are other videos on here from each of the Tuesdays. If you want to practice some more, you can access them at any time. I want to wish you all an amazing Tuesday. It's sunny for the time being, so if you can get out and about today or even sit on your back doorstep and get some sunshine, then please do so. Have a great Tuesday, and I will see you all very soon.